Okay, everyone, what a goddamn beautiful Wednesday morning here. We got episode 54 with one of our special guests, Rob Emerson, who was requested by many people after his last podcast. So let's have a bag of smoke. Let's get our posture up, take some good breaths, and get serious, boys. Thank you for that, Gloria Tells. You're the only one for me. Okay, what do we got going on? We got a bunch of shit going on. I love preaching about eating healthy and doing all this shit, but then I'm the one injured all the time. I'm dealing with a shoulder injury. I'm dealing with this back injury. Fucking pisses me off. So I'm trying not to let it take me out of the moment all the time, though, and sit there and complain about it and bitch about it. I can't train and just focus on that. You know, I got a lot of other shit going on in my life, so I'm trying to put my energy towards that. I mean, right now, we got a big fucking opportunity with Suge. He's fighting the number one guy on the planet Earth. This could be a super, super iconic moment. So it's been nice having time to just be able to focus on that, focus on getting him ready. And now at my gym, we're opening a little IV center, so you can come in, get rehydrated, you can get vitamin B12, you can get all the shit in an IV. And if you haven't got one of those, sometimes it can really save you if you're about to get sick or other than that. And then in about probably 60 days after the fight, Sugar and I are opening a coffee shop right here next to my gym, and that'll be a little job in itself, but it's nice because we have people around us that are experts in different areas that can help us. So just kind of facilitate putting the people where, and then just get it going.
Fuck yeah! The walkthrough you just gave me, this whole place is like a wellness center, like that coffee shop, the fucking rehab place. Like,
fucking old school shit, huh?
Dude, IVs are crucial. Like before I go on the trips, I usually get a B12 IV just so I don't get sick on the planes and stuff like that, especially when COVID. But yeah, this whole fucking building's rad, and you guys are running it, so. Fuck
yeah, thanks, dude. Yeah, I'm pumped about it. Yeah, other than that, so the last fight you were just with Jared and Izzy. What do you think could have went different in that fight if you could have changed something, Jared versus Izzy? For the people who don't know, Rob Emerson, he's a freaking a vet of the sport. He's the head striking coach at the lab, my good friend for a lot of years. Tons of knowledge when it comes to just combat, health, and just warrior spirit. So I love being around Rob and learning shit from Rob too. But yeah, what'd you think about that fight?
Man, it was Izzy did a good job of what he does, and he was evading a lot mostly that fight. Man, I think fucking Jared and Izzy are carrying the whole division, you know what I mean? And there's a gap between them and the rest of the talent, you know what I mean? And Jared almost closed the gap on Izzy that night. And I know guys are not, they're kind of harping on Izzy for not giving Jared the credit. And Izzy did good at just, I'm not going to say running, but he also wasn't trading and coming forward that much, you know what I mean?
And you can't blame him. I mean, people are like, oh, he's not exciting. It's like, dude, he doesn't really have to take risks. He's not the one that's got to go in there and take a big fucking risks.
Right.
He can bounce around and peck around, you know?
Yeah. And so with that being, everyone knows that you got to take it from the champ. And with that being said, Jared's got the closest to ever do it. Jared pretty much came out unscathed. He had a little kind of mouse under the eyes from like a glove scratch and like, I think, an eye poke. But both guys, I mean, I say we take him out if we run it back. You know, when you fight someone, you learn a lot about yourself. You know, and Jared's the type of athlete that learns a lot about himself. Every time he fights, he's a much better version of himself. Mm-hmm. And I think he learned a lot that fight, just about how much damage his shots do and how much ground he can cover. Mm-hmm. He's so explosive. When he was lunging for, throwing his attacks, they were landing. Yeah, it was cool. It was more of like a checkers game than I was hoping it would be a chess match, you know, but Izzy made it more of like a checkers game and keeping the distance and all that shit.
Yeah. So. And now Jared Cannonier versus Strickland for a main event 5-rounder. Fuck, that's a sweet fight.
Bro, not anymore, dude. Not anymore. We'll see what happens. They just released this. Yeah, we can talk about it. Strickland pulled out for a fucking finger injury, dude.
No.
Yeah, bro,
just now.
I guess, a couple days ago, and they just released it. So, yeah, for a finger injury. You know what I mean? So, bro, I mean,
well, for Strickland, I'm like, dude, you just got KO'd, and now you're gonna fight Jared, the next best motherfucker who doesn't load up on his punches. You start swatting at Jared's punches like Strickland swats at shit. I mean, he's gonna come around it.
You don't want to fight Jared, dude. It's 7 weeks out. At this stage in the game, guys are usually getting injured the last 2 weeks before the fight. You know what I mean? That's when injuries pop up. They're pushing hard. They can't. Their body's broken down. Rarely do you see guys at that level getting hurt this far out, let alone for a finger injury. Like, did he snap it in half? Like, how bad is it? Like, you know what I mean?
And you don't know the demons he's battling with. Like, just like Habib was talking about in the past, when you get KO'd flat, it takes a special person to come back with that. And he just had his worst night of his life in front of 30,000 people, millions of people around the world, got KO'd, and now he's going to take on Jared. Like, Jared's a motherfucker. And maybe he's thinking, like, this isn't the right move right now.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row. That'll be 2 L's in a row for him. Technically, they can give him his walking papers. I don't know if they would. He's done a lot for the division, and he obviously was also coming off a pretty decent winning streak, 6 or 7 before he got KO'd that last one.
Yeah.
But then again, man, you don't stay ahead of the curve in this sport. We have the fastest learning curve of all sports is mixed martial arts. You know what I mean? You can't be walking at your opponents with your freaking gloves below your chin, not having respect. Like, he just didn't really respect Alex, and Pierre took his, turn the lights off. And
especially for, I mean, when you're 100 or a fight night, they're probably 205, 205 pounds, explosive athletes with 4-ounce gloves. It's like, fuck, you got to keep it tight.
Yeah.
But they're talking about it, not officially announced, but I think it's almost there, is Jake Paul versus Anderson.
No shit.
Dude, it's crazy because Anderson's what, 52?
Fuck.
Is my mic up enough, Jay, or is it just is it perfect?
I think it's good.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, 52.
A boxing fight? Are they going boxing?
Boxing.
Wow.
That's a tough match for Jake.
Yeah, Anderson's slick. I mean, Anderson's fucking, you know what I mean? Like you said, he's 52. It's going to be easy to turn the lights out on him, but then he's got so much skill and so much elusiveness. I'm still not sold that last fight he had with
he's 47.
He's 47?
Yeah, still, but.
Yeah, still freaking.
Okay, I was looking at Dan Henderson, because I thought Anderson and Dan Henderson fought, and they did back in Pride. But I'm like, Jake Paul's got a good overhand right. Okay, he's going to hit people like Woodley. He's going to hit people like Askren with a big overhand right. He can maybe walk them into it. He can maybe set it up. But Anderson's going to be like, I've been there. I've done that. I'm 6'2". I know you got a good right hand.
Yeah, I don't think Anderson will lay down. If you're asking me, I think Woodley threw that fight.
You think he got paid?
I think he threw that fight. Listen, because the shot that knocked him out, the punch that homeboy threw before it was like a jab to the body. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows in the fight world, you don't parry a jab to the body, especially a guy like Woodley that has that kind of fight IQ. You're going to keep your guard back and just going to step back. You're not going to go parry this down for a body shot that's coming here. You know what I mean? Especially a guy who has a heavy overhand right.
You think there was maybe a deal that went on that said, hey, Woodley, we're going to give you an extra $500K if you let me just stroke you with this right hand in the 8th round.
The second I saw it, I said, that's bullshit. He threw that fight. And every time I watched it since, I've reaffirmed, like, that's 1,000% what I think happened. Everyone knows you don't parry a jab to the body. Why would you ever do that? You know what I mean? We don't even parry push kicks, really. You just keep your elbow in and step back. Like,
that's coming from your perspective, which you're a good talent. I mean, good top to bottom striker. I mean, that's the 8th round with Woodley. That would be insane, though. How much money do you got to give a UFC welterweight champion to say, hey, you're going to get KO'd flat? Bro, I don't know if I'd do that for $5 million, 10, or is there a number on it?
I don't know. I mean, they're probably making way more money behind the scenes, and you know what I mean? And who knows if fucking Paul is paying more. So I don't know, dude. Money talks. You know what I mean? At that stage in the game, I know he was kind of exiting the fight game and stuff.
So we got a big one next weekend. We got Khamzat versus Nate Diaz. Jakar was telling me, he's like, dude, imagine if Nate Diaz went in there, the bell rang, and they threw in the towel and said, fuck you, UFC, I'm out. Can you imagine?
That'd be funny.
Oh, my God. Would he get that much? Like, he'd probably get a lot of hate because a lot of people paid to see this slaughtering.
I don't think he would do that, though.
I don't think he would either. But imagine if he did. He said, fuck you.
Nah, Nate's a gangster. He's down. He don't give a fuck, dude. You know what I mean? He's down to fucking take lickings or give him, dude. You know, he's as real as it gets when it comes to the sport, and that's why the UFC has kept him around so long.
He really is, dude. He really fucking is. Like, for him to take on Leon, go 5 rounds like that, just to take on all the people he's took on. And now this is probably literally in the division, the worst matchup for him.
Yeah, the worst.
A guy who weighs 210 pounds. That cut could have something to do with it too. It's a 5-round fight, but fuck, dude. I feel like I'm a huge fan of the Diaz brothers, but I feel like he's gonna get battered.
Yeah, dude, these guys that are mean stand-up guys, like fucking Mastiff volume, and Leon was slapping him up too. Like, you know, Nate started shining a little bit that last round, but dude, these guys that are tough stand-up guys that can wither the Diaz power, which is not much, but wither the volume, bro, they fucking end up piecing those guys up, especially Nate. So Khamzat, I think, is a terrible fight. It just size, power, striking, timing, and but you know what? Fucking that doesn't mean the story's over for Nate. There's so many big super fights for him over at fucking.
And still, he's still a guy with 2 legs, 2 hands, and they got 4-ounce gloves on. You never fucking know, because imagine if Khamzat says, "I'm gonna make a statement on this kid. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him in the first round," and then Nate's still there, and then Nate's still there in the 4th, and now it's like, oh.
Yeah, he has a way of winning too. You know what I mean? And in our sport, man, there's so many variables. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
And who knows if Khamzat's coming in with any kind of injury or something like that too. Like, you know, a lot of variables.
Yeah, for sure. So are you dealing with some injuries right now? Your shoulder and shit?
Fuck, dude. Yeah.
Is it father time that's getting after us? Because we eat healthy. I try to do everything so I'm healthy. I try to stretch. I try to do everything. But then I keep getting fucked up. So it's like, maybe I'm doing something wrong.
Yes. I've had 2 torn labrums on the back of my shoulders for years, on both sides. And then I was sparring, about 2 months ago. And this guy was a little heavier. He was like 210, 215. So I had to like throw harder to keep up with the force of the sparring round. And he just had his elbows up. It was super unconventional to go like this. And I remember I threw a hook super hard, and it just hit his elbow in my glove, and my body kept going. And it was just like an immediate tear, like the worst pain I've ever felt. And I was hoping it would heal by now, but no, I need to go in there and get stitched up. Dr. Tokish, the same guy that did Jared's going to do him. He's the best orthopedic surgeon in the valley. So
with the Nate Diaz thing, do you think Nate's fighting for money? And same with Tony Ferguson. Like, do you think they're fighting with money? Because clearly Father Time's catching them. So, and they're not near their prime. So, do you think they are?
Nate, I don't think it's about money anymore. I think he's just down to fight, fucking whatever. Like, he's a fighter's fighter, and he always has been. And us guys that are like that, dude, we're down to fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I'll slap a motherfucker in the bar if he talks sideways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we're just like that. We're wired like that. So I think he's got enough cushion to kind of, you know, chill the rest of his life, or open up some other businesses if you want to do that. But yeah, I think he's down to fucking scrap. And again, this is our sport, dude. Nate, you know, he won the Ultimate Fighter that season that I was on with him, and that was the reintroduction of the lightweight division. And so he's been around the division for fucking years now, you know, over a decade.
Yeah, and just someone like Nate, like every single person you run into ever, they say, when's your next fight? When's your next fight? When's your next fight? Oh, you're the fighter. When's your next fight? So then maybe they feel like that's who I am as a fighter. So I just need to keep fighting. Maybe, or what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that concept could go back to when they were like, you know, their childhood growing up in Stockton, you know, which is a rough place, and just the environment. You know, I think the environment programs the egos that live within that environment, you know, and, you know, had they grown up fucking in Orange County somewhere else, I mean, maybe they wouldn't have been, you know, as like hardwired as they are. But
yeah, for sure. Were you, I mean, who would you like to see Leon go against next?
Fuck. I mean, I think they're going to fucking give homie the rematch, because, I mean, contractually, guys, don't they have to, the champ loses, don't they have an immediate rematch? I don't want to see it. I mean,
well, it'll probably be 8 months down the road. He got KO'd bad. Maybe he should rest a little bit, and he's got to get back into a fight camp. So who knows? I wonder if he tries to sneak one in before.
Yeah, fuck. That'd be sweet to see. I mean, any shake of the division would be good. I was getting bored with his, you know, champion streak, but he really wasn't very marketable, did much. And I mean, he found a way to win. He was good at what he does, but fuck, I don't know. I'm just more in favor of the stand-up violent strikers. I think the guys that bring violence to the sport is what gets the eyes, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So you've been watching you've been getting any documentaries or any shows lately?
Nah, I'm just reading a lot more.
When's your schedule for reading usually? Because you teach at the lab 4 or 5 hours a day.
Yeah, and then at nighttime, usually once everyone goes to sleep, I'll just rip and smoke. I'll stay up, take notes and everything. And I just find this zone. It's almost like an artist spell. You feel like you hear about artists getting into these spells, or these, you know what I mean, like these ideas will just come to them, you know, and these like creation spells, and it's like it's interesting. It's almost like a zone you get into, and like man, an hour and a half will go by before I knew it. And but then I'll try to watch documentaries that they're putting out there, like the CAA documents they released on like the power of the mind and like meditation and astral travel and all that, because all that stuff backs up exactly what like the Emerald Tablets have been saying, which I brought for you. Like I want you to.
Yeah, I mean,
I want you to take this home too and read this. Like, just go over when we have. It's the fucking most insane shit ever.
Damn, really?
Yeah, it's all highlighted in the shit. Like, I have a couple of versions of it, but it's nuts.
Called the Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, a beginner's guide. Damn, I'm excited. So I got to take a little smoky smoke before.
You can. So they say that when you read the tablets, that like you almost become like put in like a trance, almost kind of nuts. And they said, but your IQ won't increase 100-fold. Right, and these tablets essentially were written from the last king of Atlantis, who was known in Egypt by Thoth. Right? I think I talked about it on the other podcast a little bit, but it's crazy shit. And what it says, it's basically like a manual on the human being and what we are, and as far as us being literally like from the cosmos. And it says humans are astral, we're physical, and we're mental. Right? We hear mind, body, spirit all the time, but that's an interesting way to put it. We're mental, we're physical, and we're astral. That astral part fucking intrigues me. You know what I mean? Especially with us being with the same fucking, elements of stardust. Like that's how true is that? And if it's true, is that why our eyes look like fucking cosmic fucking, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of nuts. It's
fucking nuts. Let me, I'm going to give a call here to my buddy Ryan Sprague. We're going to try to do a segment probably each week he grows some of the most quality organic weed, and he's a weed expert. So we're going to talk to him here. I got a couple questions and
What's up, Tim?
What's up, Ryan? How are you, brother?
Doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing good. Hey, so recently we met up. You supplied me with some great quality organic weeds, and you mentioned about mixing the sativa, the indica, and the hybrid. What kind of benefits you get from that?
Yeah, so I'm really glad we're talking about this, because this is a topic that I feel a lot of other people kind of do intuitively. They mix things together, but I'd love to shed some light on what this is actually doing in the cannabis experience. And so sativas are going to activate the upper chakras of the body. So the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. And they're going to mentally stimulate the experience. Yet the challenge, if you're extracting the sativa on its own, is that because they have a high amount of delta-9 THC and usually a very low amount of CBD, this can bring forth anxiety, paranoia, etc. And so the reason for mixing is because if you do a sativa on its own, like I was just saying, you can get these undesirable results. Well, if you take that sativa and then you mix in a pretty even hybrid, hybrids are really good at opening the heart, right? So they're really good at allowing you to drop into the heart and allowing more of that real version of yourself to come forth, right? The one that's out of the mind and in the heart. And then the indica strains are really good at providing support for the first three chakras. And specifically, they work really good at relieving physical tension and trauma from the body, right? So a lot of the times when I'm working with clients and I'm working in this way, I'm including these three types of strains. Now, sometimes I mix together up to 30 different strains that are all different indicas, hybrids, and sativas. But I think for a start, if you have one sativa, one hybrid, and one indica, you're going to have a broader array of cannabinoid and terpene diversity. So in that sativa example I was giving you before, you have that high delta-9 THC and low CBD. Well, now, when you include the indicas and the hybrids, now you have CBD, you have CBG, you have CBN, you have all these different cannabinoids balancing one another out. And the way I like to say this is it's more of a full spectrum effect, right? So a lot of the times, like especially in the industry right now, a lot of people go for just THC and then they wonder why they get paranoid. Well, the plant's supposed to work together. It's called the entourage effect, which basically says that every constituent in the plant helps another constituent of the plant work more holistically. And so when you're mixing these three types of things together, not only are you affecting each individual chakra, but you're also able to balance out any undesirable effects you might receive from cannabis if you're going for strictly a sativa and potentially getting anxiety or paranoia. If you're going for strictly an indica and maybe getting too relaxed and feeling like kind of like, dead inside. If you're going for just a hybrid and you kind of feel right in the middle, but like you're not really getting the mental stimulation, but you're not getting the physical release of trauma. So when you mix these three together, it really allows that union to be had, and it allows for that more full spectrum experience.
Ah, that makes sense. So if you really want the full benefits of the cannabis plant, mixing those is good. And how much, one more question, how much do you lose of the benefits when you burn the weed compared to vaporize it or other ways?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so first of all, I'll say is, yeah, you know, especially for ceremonies, right? Like if you're looking to interact with this plant in a ceremonial way and want to allow the plant to work in every facet of your body, not just the physical body, but also the heart and the mind as well, that's when you would combine these three. I like doing it because really the only way I interact with cannabis these days is connecting with it in ceremonies. So for me, I do this every time. But for someone listening, what I would say is try it out. See what you feel, right? You might find times that you want just a sativa. Maybe you've been able to work around the potential anxiety and paranoia, see it as happening for you, not to you, these kind of things. But for anyone listening who's like, yeah, I do get paranoid sometimes. Yeah, I do feel kind of too relaxed sometimes. This can be a great strategy. And when it comes to burning the plant versus vaporizing or even eating the plant in the edible form, the main thing with burning the plant is that you're losing a lot of the terpenes. And the terpenes, the way I like to distinguish this, right, is if you think about the cannabinoids, aka THC, CBD, etc., as being the gas and brake pedal of a car, well, the terpenes are actually the steering wheel. So yes, if you have a lot of THC, it might tell you, yes, this is going to be a strong effect, but in what direction? Is it going to be relaxing? Is it going to be energizing, etc.? The terpenes give you that steering wheel. They are actually what's responsible for sending you in a certain direction. So when you're burning the plant or even vaporizing it at too high of a temperature, you're burning off a lot of those terpenes. And the result is that you're not getting the full potential of what the terpenes bring to the experience, which, you know, I really think of them as the essential oils of the plant. So you can think about how, you know, when we're working with essential oils or something, when we smell a mint, it makes us kind of energized, right? It makes us feel fresh. When we're smelling something like a linalool, like a lavender, it makes us feel relaxed. So if we're taking a strain of cannabis and burning it, we lose that sometimes. And I'm not here to say like, oh, you should never burn it or whatever, but these are important things to know so that if someone listening is like, oh, yeah, that actually makes sense for me in my experience, try it the other way, right? Like try vaporing it. You know, usually when I'm looking to preserve all my terpenes, I'm going down to about 380 degrees Fahrenheit on my volcano. And that really encapsulates all of the terpenes there. And then, of course, when you ingest it edibly in an edible fashion, the one thing that I would watch out for is, you know, if you're making cannabis butter, you want to make sure that if you're doing it in a crock pot, it's on the low set or warm setting rather, because the higher the temperatures, the more terpenes and also cannabinoids too will burn off if you're making edibles. So do it low and slow. When I make cannabis butter, I like to leave it on warm, which is the lowest setting on a crock pot, and I like to leave it there for a couple of days. The other reason for this, I won't get into a big rabbit hole, is that when I'm looking to ingest edibles, I'm looking for CBN, and CBN is simply degraded delta-9 THC. So the longer you let it sit in there with the heat, the more CBN is going to be, or the more THC is going to be transformed into CBN, and that gives a nice relaxing effect, which is what I'm looking for with edibles.
Fuck yeah, Ryan. I appreciate it, brother. That'll help out a ton of people, and great talking to you. Talk to you next week.
Hell yeah, man. Excited. Have a great day.
Peace, Ryan.
Bye-bye.
I've felt that stuff. I've felt like a certain high from a sativa and then just smoked a little bit and I felt a complete shift in like how I physically felt.
Dude,
that was freaking informative. That was awesome.
I know, that's good. That dude's like, I mean, he's so smart about that kind of shit. Because I've been just bong ripping it. I love a good bong rip to the dome piece. And for me, I don't really get too bad at anxiety. I've had it before where I've smoked something. Maybe it was a strain that was super sprayed with pesticides, or it was just kind of a cheapy weed that I didn't like. But when I smoke his weed, dude, I'm like, wow, I'll give you a nug after this and you can try it out.
It's a trip, dude. You have a complete different experience based off like the quality of what you're smoking. And it's profound. Like I love that conversation that I was able to listen on. That was fucking awesome. Like before we demonize this stuff, like I've had some weed like I've gotten from some place, and the whole place just seemed dark and weird. And then my wrestling coach smoked it, and we were like walking around. He's like, "Dude, I feel like I'm gonna die right now." Do you think like that? I'm like, "Bro, I'm glad you said something. I feel like shit." And like, we just got some other weed, and I smoked, and we were fucking totally happy and all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's a mindset. Like everything's mental, right? Whether it's a placebo effect or not, but what I'm reading in the alchemical text say that like it's the spirit of these plants that affect this mind, body, and spirit of us. And I love that he was talking about the chakra systems and how these different strains can activate different parts of the human being, right? Because again, it's all about the human being, just like the Emerald Tablets say. Like, it's not even so much like we create DMT within us, right? There's different organs that create DMT, our pineal gland, and other organs as well. It's pretty profound. So we are what is profound. These plants just allow us to tap into some pretty magical shit inside of us, and like these energy systems or these chakras, and people say, oh, that's bullshit. These are energy systems that are inside of our body. And what's profound is that 2 of them are outside of the body. You know what I mean? It's kind of nuts. And it's cool shit.
Yeah. That Ryan came on my podcast a while back. You gotta listen to that one. He talks a lot about weed the whole time, but he talks a lot about like how important the grower is. If the grower that's growing this plant and with these plants every day just has shitty, moody energy, like, I mean, it sounds weird. It sounds weird talking about it, but they're gonna have the plants are gonna have shitty energy compared to if they're having fake light and just people who don't give a fuck about them and then spraying pesticides on them, and then you smoke it and you're like, fuck, weed gives me anxiety. It's like, no wonder you're smoking some trash.
Dude, I had the first concept that ever made me think about something like that was I was out in Hawaii, one of BJ Penn's camps, and he hired this personal chef to like live with us for the camp and would make our food. But when he was cooking in the kitchen, no one was allowed in the kitchen. And I asked him why. He's like, it's an energy thing. And I was like, oh, what do you mean by that? He's like, different people's energies and their personalities can literally change like the molecular structure of the food, essentially, which blew my fucking mind that he was that passionate about just cooking. Bro, it made me more passionate about a lot of things in life. Like, wow, that's just complete mindfulness and being present. And again, if these particles that make up this plate of food or make up this strain of weed, they're all vibrating, that means they're fucking alive, just like we are. And man, it's awesome. It's cool when you look at the world quantumly like that.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It almost trips me out a little bit too much sometimes when I try to go too deep into it,
For sure. It's why I smoke weed now in life to like mellow me out and just fucking let me chill here. Like, like otherwise shit gets kind of nuts.
Yeah, same. Especially when you got so much shit going on too. It's hard to just not, I mean, weed, I always say it is just like a hack to meditation for me. It always just brings me right in the moment, what I'm doing. And so we got one more call to make here with our boy Dan Garner. Dan Garner is the nutritionist for many NHL players, some NFL players. Been working with Suge and I for I think over 5 years now. He's just super passionate. He came on the pod too. You guys are all familiar with him. Let's give Dan a question for the week. Fucking catching him mid beat off session. Well, I forgot to remind him this morning, but it's all right. He'll probably give us a jingle back. Yep, no worries. There we go. Yeah, I watched that Lil Baby documentary last night, Jay. That was good, dude.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was good. I'm like, that kid is just... Oh, here's Dan right here. Dano.
I think you got
I thought I was catching you mid beat off session.
Yeah, well, you are. That's why I had to put the phone down and wash my hands, and now I'm calling you.
God damn it! Sorry about that, brother. Hey, the question for this week: if you're trying to be, a professional fighter or whatever, you're training twice a day. What's the optimal time to take between those workouts? Can I get away with working out hard, go home, rehydrate, and work out again in 3 hours or 4 hours? Or what's the optimal time to where I'm going to have a good workout and I'm pretty recovered for my second workout?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's going to depend a little bit on how the first workout was. What was your recovery score going into that? What was your HRV going into that? What type of robustness and resilience did you have going into that? Because fatigue is one of those things that can be progressive. So if you're deep into fight camp and then you absolutely smashed another a very, very 90-minute hard grappling session, then your recovery before your PM workout is likely and predictably going to be longer than it would in the beginning of camp when you've got all of that hormonal milieu working in your position because you've got no signs of overtraining taking place. I have a range that I work with. It's basically 4 to 8 hours that range is based upon your current state of fatigue. So if you're fresh, ready to rock, camp's pretty new, you haven't been dieting too long, the 4 hours is the absolute minimum, even if you feel great, because we do want to rehydrate, restock glycogen stores, and get the body back in a position to where it can actually perform again in that PM workout. But as fight camp goes on, I'm not opposed at all to kind of gradually 4 hours turns to 5, 5 turns to 6, 6 turns to 7, just to allow the muscular system, the nervous system, and the connective tissue of the body, because it gets quite beat up at that point as well. More time to breathe, more time to recover, and continually allow you to progress, because you're going to perform to the degree that you are recovered. So if you go into that PM workout 80% recovered, well, then you are going to perform to 80% of your ability. That is a 1-to-1 equation. And as you get deeper into camp and fatigue becomes a greater thing, well, we don't want to perform worse in that later session. So I think it's actually advantageous to wait a little longer so that your percentage of performance in the PM session can be higher, so you can be more prepared on fight day. So super long-winded answer short, 4 hours when you're feeling fresh, but go all the way up to 8 hours as you get progressively deeper into camp if you need it.
Fuck yeah, brother. That answers it perfectly. Thank you so much, Dan. We'll talk to you next week.
Beauty. See you, brother.
Peace, bro.
Yeah, that's interesting. I heard McGregor talking about with some of his coaches that it was about 6 hours to get all the levels back up.
Yeah.
6 is right in between 4 and 8, like he said. And
It's crazy how much just training has evolved in just the time I've been fighting, and probably the time you've been fighting. When we started 12 years ago, it's like you trained fucking hard every day, every session. You didn't take a break. And it's always interesting when you get older, your skill level's a lot higher, but your body slowly starts to break down. But you're a lot smarter. Your IQ's a lot higher, but your body's just quite not as fresh. So like adapting to that is always interesting to me, how people adapt to that, how people that are 35 years old, 37 years old, how they're training different compared to when they were 23.
Yeah.
And still, you know how it is. I mean, fighting, sometimes you're training just because you're I don't want to say scared, but yeah, you're scared of the other opponent. You're scared of getting gassed out. So I'm going to train every day, twice a day, because I don't want to fucking gas out no matter what. I know this is a big opportunity for me. So
I heard Cowboy talk about it a little bit, how he transitioned from, and I did the same thing, was instead of doing 2 hours a day, like he couldn't find enough recovery time, so just going at the gym at night and just being there, 3-4 hours at night, and, doing, just if you need a rest break in between, 30-minute rest, and do like maybe movement as for one part of the training and bag work, and then your heavy conditioning. Like for me, I was doing sparring, and then I would do my heavy conditioning right after sparring, about half-hour break, because then I got ample time for my body to rest before the next sparring day.
Yeah.
And if we're going to highlight performance days, we want to highlight sparring sessions, right?
Of course.
And so I found out with getting like the heavy, like, J-Rock workouts in and heavy strength training, and I felt it was best if I smashed it out before I went to bed my sparring night. That way I felt fresher.
Yeah, and I remember Chael told me a long time ago at training, he's like, if you're doing any more than 10 sessions a week, it's too much, because then you go into these sessions, you're half-assing them, your body hurts, you're not even really there mentally. But if you can do 8 to 10 focus sessions where you're there and each session has a purpose, then that's prime. Because you see a lot of these people, like, they fucking train 3-4 times a day sometimes, but it's just like doing nonsense.
Dude, weed helps so much too. Honestly, it's like fucking weed helped me so much through my camps. Like whenever I was just slacking or feeling like I didn't want to go in, or I felt like I was redlining, I can just smoke a bowl, put on some tunes, and be fucking ready to go. Like it lifts your spirits. You know what I mean?
It does, dude.
When your mind feels good, the body will follow suit.
Fuck yeah. And yeah, especially when I'm feeling a little bit groggy or I'm feeling a little bit moody, I'll literally go dunk all the way under in that plunge, come out, shower up, take a rip of a nice weed, and I'm like, wow, I'm completely fucking changed, ready to go, ready to rumble. But I was talking about that Lil Baby. You know much about Lil Baby, the rapper?
No.
Rob? That was pretty fucking impressive, JX.
This guy is crazy that he blew up in that short amount of time.
Yeah. This black kid is just from the hood, like the hood of Atlanta, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and he was making millions on the streets, and he was pretty respected on the streets, making a lot of money doing drugs and stuff. Went to prison, got out, His buddy talked him into rap. He's like, I don't want to do rap. I don't want to embarrass myself. And now he just fucking blew up. And he's a super like hood rat kid. He doesn't like speak very well, but he's very smart and he articulates his words good. It's pretty cool documentary. I was like, damn, that made me a fan of him.
Yeah, I liked his music more. It's crazy how you see a documentary or something, you get more attached to.
Check it out. It's on Netflix.
Artist. I think it's on Amazon.
Yeah. The thing about those documentaries too, it's like documentaries can portray you to be this great person and you're just a fucking shitty human. And then all of us that are sitting at home like, oh man, what a great guy, just spreading a good message, when we really don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a documentary.
And think how many like crazy stories are out there of people that are never found out about. Like so many cool stories we never hear about, you know, like again, it's a celebration of the human being, dude. It's a celebration of our species, and it's cool to see a guy like Lil Baby, like Suge, and all these guys have these awesome storybook. You know, they can make a movie of these guys' lives. It's really awesome, and imagine how many fucking cool shit people live and accomplish that we never even hear about and know about. You know?
Bro, well, think of how many people there was like I mean anybody, Lil Baby, Suge, whoever, that just were born in the wrong age. They were born without internet.
I always think too, it's crazy how we like vlogs and stuff. We like seeing other people's lifestyles. Because I mean, kids like the same thing when they're watching other kids open up toys or just kids being kids. Like we like what we like. Like I'll watch jiu-jitsu vlogs or whatever I'm into. Yeah. Like it just kind of trips me out that we like enjoy watching other people do.
Yeah,
what
for
we
sure.
like to do.
Yeah, the internet, dude. Damn, we're lucky to be around the fucking internet.
I remember when fucking what was it? MySpace, right? AOL was AOL online. We used to go home from school and talk to people.
Did you have top friends on MySpace? I would have my top 8, and there was always issues between girlfriend, best bud.
Yeah, I remember my screen name was Knuckles 949. 949 was the area code for Orange County.
Damn, that's sweet.
Fucking, it was AOL. We get all excited it was the most exciting part of the day, and then from there upgraded to MySpace, and then now it's just. We're on these fucking things all day.
Bro, they're just controlling everything.
It's a struggle, dude. I try to not be on my phone as much as I can. I swear the light bothers my eyes and shit. It's
really?
Like, you know what I mean? By the end of the day, I feel like I'm straining my eyes and shit. And I read that every other light bulb besides the one that Tesla created, there's like vaporized mercury that comes out and goes into our eyes, and that's kind of gnarly. You think about people look at these fucking phones, they look at computer screens all day, and it's like that can't be good, you know?
Oh, dude. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that'll look at that phone this close to their face, fall asleep, wake up, phone's right there, open it and scroll. For real. I mean, that's funny, but it's for real.
That's crazy, bro. We're resilient. We are a fucking resilient species. You know what I mean? Yeah. Addicts can live fucking 20-year drug binge and still come out. You know, that's crazy. That Tom Marinovich guy, I hired him to be my strength and conditioning coach years back. And the NFL drafted him, not even out of a university, but straight off like a 10-year drug, heroin, speed binge off the streets. And he was drafted to the Raiders and was killing it. Yeah, Tom Marinovich, freak athlete. His parents were like one of the best strength and conditioning coaches I've ever met. I got to work them through BJ. He hired them for a few camps, and they were all about building the athlete up from the feet up, right? All their stuff was barefoot, everything, standing on PCV pipes. They had these super cat machines.
You guys would go, when you were training with BJ and stuff, you guys would go to the ocean and do a lot of stuff at the beach and stuff?
Yeah, we do cones, warm-ups in the grass and the sand and down there at the beach. And that sports science lab was down there in San Clemente. And then obviously when I went out to Hawaii, we did a lot of stuff barefoot. And I love that concept. I take my daughter and we go earthing or grounding at least 30 minutes every day. I go to the park once the sun sets so it's not so hot out. And we just walk around the grass. I take my dog out there and stuff. And it feels good. You get almost like these like probiotics from the earth that just, you know, absorb through your feet and stuff. And it's pretty, you feel good. They say even when you go travel, if you're jet lagged, to lay down and take a nap, I guess after 18 inches, this energy that the earth gives off, it kind of dissipates. But if you lay down, you're below the 18-inch marks, and you can feel like a shift or a change. Cyborg had some this German equipment called Bemmer. It's a German company, but they base all their technology off Tesla's stuff. And she had this bed that she plugged in. It was like $10,000. You plug it in a wall, you roll it out, and you just lay down in it. And it's supposed to stimulate the energy of the earth, whatever. The same frequency, I think 7.83.
Yeah, those.
Which is interesting.
I think I forgot what those were called, but Paul Chek talks about that a lot too. Just having your feet on the grass, and even when you're barefoot and you're peeing, and your pee hits this, like you're gonna feel this energy from the earth.
Oh, like the pee hits in your feet, so it's like a cycle.
Yeah.
Almost. Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
I also watched the Untold, all those Untold documentaries on. I think they are Netflix, Jay. I think
The Untold.
Oh, yeah, the Untold.
The baby one was on Prime.
Oh yeah, the Untold documentaries. Those are all really well made documentaries. But I watched the one on Kris Jenner and his life. I had no idea he was that good of an athlete. You know what the decathlon is? Where
Yeah,
they do
the
like 10 events.
Yeah.
They do 10 events, and you're competing against everyone else in the world. So literally, you're the best athlete in the fucking world. And Kris Jenner won that. That's a crazy documentary too. And then going through her transition, how much like balls that had to take. It was a fucking interesting story.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
the
really
human
good one.
mind is fascinating. You know what I mean? It's fucking fascinating. Cause it's nuts.
Andrew Tate got banned on everything, which is pretty fucking crazy. Which is really crazy to me because it's not like he was saying anything that bad. I watched Logan Paul and a couple people talk about it, like, oh, he's saying these things that's gonna have a long lasting effect on a lot of people. I'm like, dude, people say shit like that could have a negative long lasting effect all the time, and his shit wasn't even
What did he say?
that bad. He would just talk about women and the dynamic difference between men and women, and a lot of it was true. But he goes in deep. You never watch any of his stuff? Some highlight. You should watch some YouTube. He might have got deleted, but it's fucking entertaining. And a lot of times he's joking, but he is a very smart, witty guy too. But he got banned on everything. You were getting shadow banned and shit on Instagram.
I still am, bro. They can't. No one could fucking tag me or add me. Yeah, and shit.
Yeah, I always try to tag you or find you and to message you. To find you just to message you for the pod, I was like, I can't find this motherfucker.
Yeah, you got to type in MMA fucking alchemy, and then even the first round guys. I guess they're going to try to give me my blue check or whatever. But I think it's a problem because I've been shadow banned. But yeah, they can say anything wrong. Fucking, it's crazy.
They'll just fucking zing you. I
Oh,
mean,
it's nuts.
do you think Andrew Tate should have been banned on everything? Like, you see some of the shit
I
you
don't
see on
think so.
YouTube. You see some bad shit on YouTube.
Yeah, I think he just got, obviously, he became so popular, and who knows how much complaints, like, from the, like, I don't want to say closed-minded people, but who knows how many complaints he got through to Facebook and Instagram and all that, and they were just like, we got to do something.
What was the topic that got him booted? Was it like
They don't specify.
Yeah, they don't say, but
Even if they ban you from YouTube, they don't specify exactly why they banned you. It's fucking.
What was he talking about? The difference between like
He was
men
talking
and
about
women and men who think they're women and stuff like that, or real men.
not so much about that, but he was talking about who's actually in charge of the world, like these people and these elites. He was talking a lot about that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, like the Trilateral Commission. You talk about that at all?
He might have. I mean, he has so many goddamn videos out there. But the guy's entertaining. You got to check him out. It's pretty fucking funny. You guys ever dealt with sleepwalking in your life?
My brother has. Yeah, I've caught him a couple of times, like coming out talking, which is crazy because how could you be that disconnected and not there, but there? You know what I mean? He was coming out talking bullshit. Where's the money? Where's, like, he robbed the bank or so. He said he's dreaming he robbed the bank, and then like, but what the fuck? I was just going upstairs to go to bed. Like my mom was right there too, and just like that freaking trips me out. Like your mind can really take you somewhere else. When your body's still
Jay?
here.
no, I've never. I think my brother used to sleepwalk too. He would always be talking, and I remember one time he came out and like he used the restroom where he was talking, and then a couple hours later, he was like, "What was that about?" And then he's like, "What are you talking about?" He did not remember at all.
Get pissed.
And they say not to wake him up because it can be like a fucking crazy.
Dude,
like,
when in 7th grade, when my parents got divorced, our house flooded like pretty much the same month. The bottom of our house flooded, so they put us in these hotel rooms. They gave me and my brother a hotel room, and my sister and my mom a hotel room. And my brother was staying at his friend's house, and I didn't have any underwear that night, so I slept naked in the bed. And I had a dream that my mom said, "Tim, go get in the Suburban." And we're in this hotel, so I'm walking around the hotel butt naked, 7th grade, just butt naked, looking for the door outside, and it's winter outside, and I'm walking around. I can't imagine what the cameras look like. And I looked down, and I kind of woke up, and I was naked, and I sprinted back to the hotel room, started banging on the door. Went back in. I used to have a problem with sleepwalking. My mom used to have to put chairs in front of the door so I don't try to walk to school in the middle of the night.
So how did you, I guess, stop You just grew out of it?
I don't know what the fuck it was. Yeah, I kind of grew out of it. Mariah says sometimes when I do a lot of dairy, sometimes I'll talk in my sleep still. But I won't really walk, but sometimes I will. It's fucking so weird, dude. Before I've peed on my brother's head.
Oh my God.
And when he got up, he fucking screamed and he started sprinting after me and I sprinted to my parents' room. Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I used to do that shit. But walk around in that hotel just butt nude.
I just always think of Step Brothers scene.
Yeah. That's fucking me right there.
I wonder if it has anything to do with like parasites, maybe. If it is like a dairy and meat thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something these fucking, because parasites are able to take over little fucking bodies and, have pretty much like kind of control it or influence them at least. Maybe like it's just something has to do with there's so many parasites in our gut that it can literally physically maybe encourage us or to do things. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But then how you always say too, like, why do some people snore? Like, like me.
Yeah.
I feel I snore when I'm like super tired or just haven't had really good deep sleep. And I feel like comfortable somewhere, like really comfortable, then I'll just
start snoring.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the video that NASA released of the sounds of the black hole? It was actual sounds of the black hole. And NASA fucking creepy. I'm about to play it right now. This is the sound of a black hole that NASA released.
Very spooky.
It's fucking weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You've seen like the mushroom music too, huh? They could like hook up these like electrodes, plug it in and play like the mushrooms have like a vibe.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's fucking cool. When's the last time you tripped out heavy?
It's been a while, dude. It's been like, I think over a year, almost 2 years now. I think I did the 5 grams or whatever, the heroic dose. I tried to.
And that one would put you deep. After you do one of those heavier doses, it's kind of scary to go back in again, huh?
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of anxiety and stuff. And yeah, I mean, I like to have a shift. I feel like I have a complete conscious shift when I do them. So I've done microdosing and stuff since then.
Have you ever tried any ketamine?
No.
Either have I. I've heard it's pretty sweet though, because this lady at this holistic center I went to, they do ketamine ceremonies or therapies or whatever. Yeah. I'm like, damn, that looks pretty neat. I'd give it a go. But yeah, Abu Dhabi, dude. Abu Dhabi, we're leaving probably 35 days. Okay. I mean, I've never even been to another country. You been to Abu Dhabi?
I've been out there at Fight Island for Jared's when he fought at Whitaker.
How was it? What was it like? Was it quite different?
The whole thing was a trip. Like the whole plane ride over there was just like all UFC people and like the whole island. You just see that like, bro, we think we have money here in this country. Like it's just stupid over there.
They
like,
just
the whole fucking island is just, and there was just like yachts everywhere. And then like one of the workers is like, oh, this is the ghetto. These are the little boats. Yeah, they're like, wait till you guys come back. After you guys leave, the real ships come in. They were like multi-million-dollar yachts, right? Like the whole flooded and they're like, this is nothing.
How was your sleep out there? Did you sleep all right?
We went to the beach that first day, and I kind of walked around. I was always told if you go stand in the water and face the land, but standing in the ocean, it does kind of help with
get acclimated.
I've never really experienced jet lag too much. I usually adjust pretty fast.
Sweet. Yeah, because I think we're going to go out there October 7th. So we'll be out there, I think, 14 days before to kind of really get acclimated. So we're feeling good.
I love how you said too. It's just gonna be an iconic moment for the sport. You know what I mean? It's gonna be an iconic moment for MMA, and it's gonna go down the history books. Just something fucking cool to be part of.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me just because I know how fucking Terminator this little motherfucker is, but I know Sugar's skills and I know he rises to the occasion, and he's such a fucking athlete. Like he fights different than a lot of people, so I definitely think he can get the job done. Yeah,
I've been watching Peter for a long time. Even before he was in the UFC, he was the ACA champ, so I was watching him because that's when I was fighting in that division too at 135, and so I was watching a lot of footage on him, and I just saw how tough and mean he was. They didn't really test much of the guys over there, so there was a little bit more aggressiveness, but still that toughness he carried over with him. But you're right, Suge has a way of like bringing guys out of their element. You know what I mean? And then capitalizing on it.
Fuck yeah.
So I think anyone's the guy to do it. Fucking is Suge. You know
Big cage, half a foot taller.
Yeah. And Suge plays that range well. He plays his feet and arm range well. And fucking, man, he's looking slick in the gym for the sparring matches and stuff too. Like, dude, this is something to celebrate. It's going to be awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude. And Peter is quick at sprinting forward and trying to hit some overhands, sprinting in opposite stance and throwing overhands. So really trying to make him fast with his feet, be able to you get the fuck back and start circling quick as fuck.
Man, switching your stance allows you to cover a lot of ground, right?
Yeah.
And it's not done too much in Muay Thai, kickboxing, or boxing, but in MMA, a lot of guys are starting to switch their stance. And I think that's how Peter covers most of his ground, switching his stance and then throwing like basic shot. He doesn't do any fancy shit when he switches his stance. It's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Even when he's fighting Aldo. But Suge has that same element. He's able to cover so much ground even more because he has, longer leg length and, footwork. And he has a footwork IQ. I think is better than Peter's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man.
It's going to be epic, dude. Fuck yeah. So this weekend we got coming up, we got Serial Gone versus Tai Tuivasa. God, I want to see Tai Tuivasa keep going so bad. I want to see him keep going. But Tai Tuivasa, I mean, he cracks people that are blitzing in. He cracks motherfuckers. He's a good counterpuncher, got a good left hand, good right hook. I just don't think Serial Gone is going to really blitz in. I think he's going to bounce around, switch his stance. He's one of the best heavyweights I've seen in a long time that can punch people at the end of his punches.
Serial,
and he's 6'3".
Tuivasa's sick though. I'm a fan.
I'm a huge fan of Tuivasa. I hope that motherfucker wins. I really do. 75-inch reach. Serial Gone's 81-inch reach. I would love to see him get it done. 5 rounds. I mean, you can never count Tai out. But man, how sweet would it be to see him with the belt around his waist?
Did you see?
Imagine if he knocked out Francis?
He said he would like to go against John Jones for his heavyweight debut.
Fuck.
Imagine that.
Damn.
Ugh.
I can see them making that.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That'd be sick.
And then we got Robert Whitaker, Marvin Vettori. Not many people are talking about that. It's an interesting match. I'm a big fan of Robert Whitaker. I love watching him fight. Marvin Vettori, though, have you been around him much?
He was at Kings. He joined Kings back when I was there, back when I was leaving there. So he was there for about a year or so before I left and then moved out here. He was the same kind of fighter then than he is now. He hasn't transformed much. Very heavy-footed. I remember when he first came on the team at Kings, he was very, very heavy-footed, especially when he came forward. The guys were able to kick his leg and move a lot. And he just has such a strong will and such a strong mind. It's carried him through his division, similar to like fucking Diego Sanchez, but more skilled than Diego. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but just a fucking gritty, just like
yeah, tough motherfucker.
So who you got? Tai Tuivasa, Serial Gone. You got to pick it. $10,000.
Let's go.
Okay. Robert Whitaker, Marvin.
I gotta go Whitaker.
Outpiecing him, jabbing him up.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got UFC 279, the big one, Khamzat Nate. What's the results of this fight? And I know you're buddies with Nate. I mean, I love Nate too. Huge fan of Khamzat. Who you got and how?
Fuck. Realistically, bro. Fuck.
Come on, give it to Nate. Guillotine, 5th round.
Fuck, dude.
I'm nervous that Khamzat's going to take him down and mount him really quick and then give up his back. Maybe give up his back, maybe not. But then just damage him.
I don't see Nate making it out of 2. Don't make it out of 3. I think Khamzat has it in to finish him, put him down. But
let's see. Fuck. Let's see if Nate can prove us wrong. It'll be sick.
Fuck
Everyone's pulling for him.
Fuck yeah.
So Li Jingling versus Tony Ferguson. It's a weird fight they gave Tony Ferguson. I mean, a bigger welterweight. I feel like Li Jingling might piece him up. I feel like Father Time's catching up to Tony a little bit.
Tony's in a weird place too, it seems, with the mix-up and stuff.
I wonder if he hits drugs. What kind of drugs he hits?
Damn,
perks.
Little Adderall.
Little adders, little perks, top to bottom. And then Johnny Walker versus Ion Kutulaba. That'll probably be an exciting fight. Anything else that sticks out on that card? Nothing crazy. And then, the week after that, we got Sandhagen, Song Dodong. It's a good fight there.
Yeah.
Corey Sandhagen, motherfucker. Song Dodong, cracks people. Main event, 5 rounds. I'm going to take Corey.
Yeah.
Jabbing him up, piecing him up. Nothing really sticks out on there too much again. But, yeah, other than that, what do you got going the rest of the day?
Just chilling. We got sparring at 3, so just hanging out until then.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, and then we got October 1st. We got Mackenzie Dern. She's a main event. Damn, on October 1st, and then the co-main is Cody Garbrandt versus Ronnie Yaha.
Yeah, damn, Ronnie Yaha is still fighting these co-main event fights. That's wild, that motherfucker.
37. I mean, they're trying to set Cody up for a win, obviously, but dude, Ronnie Yaha is no joke on the ground. That motherfucker grabs a hold of you, pulls guard, whatever, enters some leg entanglement. Cody can be in trouble.
Yeah, Perillo's done an amazing job with Mackenzie too over there. She's busting her ass this year on the mitts, like she's cracking.
She looks fucking great.
Yeah, she's really came into herself over there. Jason's such a great coach, dude. He does such a good job at like connecting with his fighters.
He seems like he's probably one of my favorite coaches out there. Just watching him, the way he works with people, the way he gets their mind ready for battle is fucking good, dude.
And he'll always say that he's a psychologist way more than he is a coach, and I love that ass. He really is. And all the guys that I've seen work with him, BJ, myself, fucking Chito, all these guys, they feel like a very tight bond with him. He's able to make these guys mentally just, warriors.
And dude, that's a big piece. I mean, you can teach your fighter all these techniques. You can teach him you can be the wizard, but you have to get their mind ready for a fucking fist fight and ready to get battered and still want to win. Okay. And there's not a ton of coaches that I've met that are like that are ready.
Confidence is priceless, dude. Confidence is fucking priceless.
I think it's the number one.
For sure. Actually, the best coach, the best cornerman I've ever had in my life was the guy got my black belt from Marco Ruas back in the day, right? The first ever UFC tournament champ. Well, the best cornerman I ever had, he fucking made me believe in myself more so than anyone I could ever think could teach me. He was in my corner when I fought Jens Pulver for my first pro fight after he beat BJ. Best cornerman I ever had, never said a fucking word any of the rounds. Not a word until I went back to the corner in between rounds. Crazy. It sounds like he would just literally watch the whole entire time.
Just let him fight.
Yeah, let him fight. And you know what? The fact that he put me out there and he's like, you know what to do. You already know what to do. I don't need to tell you. And the fact that he had that trust in me, it made me believe in myself and trust myself. And that element oh man, it was huge. Leaps and bounds for me. I was able to fight fucking Jens when I was 20 years old to a decision. I almost won. It was a close decision. And this fucking thing is our best fucking weapon.
100%. I mean, and I think it's weird because it just takes so many years to kind of get it to where you want, especially when fighting's a hard one too, because there's all these emotions involved and you got to keep these emotions under control. And then it's the technical battle. And then it's like, okay, you got really fucking hurt. You got kicked with something and now something's broke and you didn't expect that. You didn't train for that for 6 weeks, but now you got to get ready to battle through it.
Like Suge in his fight when he fucked up his ankle, you know what I mean? Like that same shit. Like it is. That's why the mixed martial arts platform is glorified for what it is. It's the fucking modern day gladiatory arena, and it's the only sport where like the human heart and will is put on a pedestal. I don't even trust boxing anymore. But MMA, no one's gonna throw on fight in MMA. You know what I mean? There's no way the guys are getting paid enough to throw fights. So you see the fucking human heart and the human will, versus another human, and it's fucking rad. It's why our sport is continuously growing.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Okay, Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev, UFC 280. Who you got? How?
I got Oliveira all day. Fuck, he's sick.
I keep telling people too. Everyone's like, Islam's gonna kill him. I'm like, dude, you watch Charles's fights, the confidence he has right now, the way he's just walking through shit like a fucking Terminator, walking down other beasts and just smoking them.
Dude, and I was watching him hit mitts when we were out there. This last fight, who were we out there for at Apex? Was it Jared's fight? I think so. Yeah, it was Jared's fight. And then the Izzy fight. And so he was there hitting mitts and just watching him elbows. All these fucking elbows and punches, just looking slick and just. He's never really had to display any of that, but I'm like, fuck, this guy has so much stuff he hasn't even displayed for the fans. Like, it's cool to see these guys work, but he's comfortable in the pocket. The way he was throwing fucking knees, like, even against guys like fucking Michael Chandler, like wrestlers that were powerful wrestlers that could take him down. He wasn't afraid to stand that close to him and just throw his knees at them. I think knees is the best anti-wrestling weapon. And Oliveira has the confidence to stand and sling them too.
And he throws those knees. He's got good balance when he throws them. He's not throwing them just recklessly. And then, but dude, Islam's got to stay sharp for 25 minutes. I mean, if he slips up in 25 minutes, Charles is going to catch him.
Yeah, sharp is the word. Yeah, he's going to stay on the ball. If he fucks up one time, Charles will capitalize.
Yeah, and I feel like Khabib and their team's going to have him very prepared for that. Very prepared to defend guillotines and very prepared to keep his hips square with his hips and keep his posture up and stay away from those. But still, I don't know. I'm picking Charles that fight too.
Those guys got a good anti-jiu-jitsu style, as far as just ground and pounding versus submit jiu-jitsu fighting.
Yeah.
They got a good style with that.
And I think it's going to be tough because Khabib and Islam, these guys pass people's guards easy. They get into half guard and they trap their wrists. I just don't think you're going to be able to do that as easy with Charles. Aljamain versus TJ Dillashaw. Who you got?
I got Dillashaw on that. Yeah, I'm not an Aljamain fan after how he won that bout. The actually last two performances.
Yeah,
I thought that was.
I was thinking a lot of people are picking Aljamain, but I think TJ, dude. I think TJ's a good ass athlete. I think he can wrestle just as good. I think Aljamain's jiu-jitsu is going to be better, but I think their wrestling will kind of even it out. And I think TJ's just more athletic and more diverse on his feet.
Yeah, it's way more dynamic on the feet, TJ. And I think what you said there, the wrestling cancels it out, and I don't think TJ will be able to keep it on the feet.
Fuck yeah. And then we got Bilal Muhammad, Sean Brady. Damn, tough one for Bilal versus Sean Brady. Sean Brady's 15-0, fucking savage. God, if Bilal wins this, you can't really deny him much longer. And then we got another sick one, Beneil Dariush versus Matthias Gamrot. That's a sick fight, dude. That's a sick fight. It's hard to say with Beneil. You always think he's gonna lose, and then he wins.
Yeah, fuck. He's another guy at Kings who was just like phenomenal skill wise. He was one of my main sparring partners back there, and again a very crafty, long rangey southpaw, and again a world class black belt too. But his striking obviously is entertained the fans and shit. Even the fight he had with Dre was crazy. Dre had that motherfucker.
He did, dude.
He had that motherfucker.
He did.
Damn.
But thanks a lot for coming in, Rob.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thanks for having me anytime.
Fuck yeah. Guys, check it out. I'm doing a solo pod every week on patreon.com. This week was a AMA, answered every question that the Patreon people asked, and then there's extra content going up there all the time. And then also there's a Thorne a discount code. The Thorne Supplements are the best supplements. Dan Garner will tell you why. They're heavily tested. They're just quality stuff. You're going to get what you want. So that link will be in the bio too, and then the discount gets added when you check out, so you'll see the discount added when you're ready to check out. But like and subscribe to the page, boys. And if you comment on this video, remember every week I'm giving a pair of 16-ounce sparring gloves away. I'm mailing them out. So comment on the video, and then I'll pick one of those. Well, it's like a random generator. So comment, please, like and subscribe. I appreciate it so much. See you guys next week. Love you. Peace.